This is a review of a Mast ID camera that I managed to get at an estate sale. It's circa 1970, and it was made by the Mast Development Company of Davenport, Iowa. Now, the namesake of the Mast Development Company was a guy named Gifford M. Mast. Holds a bunch of patents, a bunch of odd patents for photographic equipment and such. And a lot of his patents are in this camera, and they are unique. I think they're unique to this camera. I've never seen another one like it. If you Google Mast ID camera, you get no pictures of this camera. There are no photographs of this camera online. The thing simply just isn't there. There's not there, and there could be a reason for that. One of these is never sold on eBay. There could be a lot of reasons for that, especially one being that it's prohibited from being sold. But I don't think so. It's just an ID camera. It's just a Polaroid back ID camera. But it has some features on it that I've never seen on any other camera. And we're going to go through those. I'm going to give you a general overview now of it. And then we're going to, I'm going to put film in it and try to take pictures with it. See how it works. You'll notice that this camera has an electrical plug to it. But it's a fully mechanical camera. It doesn't need electricity. The electricity is for this little guy right here. This is there's a light bulb in there that when you plug it in and flip a switch, it shines a light on you so that you can point the camera, which is an interesting thing about this camera. There's no way to focus the lenses. There's no way to cock the shutters. There's no rangefinder or viewfinder to aim the thing. So it's quite an interesting camera. So let's get a closer look at this, and I'll go through the details of it and show you how it works. Here we go. We're going to flip this around. I'm going to get behind the camera because I want to get a close up of this thing. Okay, this is the front of the camera. You notice this blue color, very interesting. If you type in Gifford Mast, you'll find an ozone machine that has that exact same color to it. So I guess all of his equipment had that kind of color scheme. If you look at the front, you have two individual lenses, and of course the piece of the light that aims the camera itself. If you look at the top of this thing, looking at the top of the camera, what you see is an electrical outlet, old-timey flash cord connector, and a slot to hold a hot shoe. But there's no mating plate for the hot shoe. It's just a slot to hold it. I guess that's why you need the old-time cable for it. Okay, if you turn it sideways like this, now you see the business end of this camera. These are all the controls. Up here, you have two shutter releases. The top shutter release exposes the left shutter only. The bottom one will then fire the right shutter only, or if you haven't exposed the left one yet, it'll fire both. That's just a sticker I'm going to scrape off and clean. Here it says aim light, and there's a little switch here. If you plug it in and you flip that on, it turns that light on so that you can aim the camera. Below the aim light is the ASA shutter speed, film speed. Now, this is a Polaroid camera. You'll see the standard Polaroid back. But a standard Polaroid film comes in two speeds. It comes in 75 ASA for color and 3000 ASA for black and white. So this ASA set will go from 75 to 300, not 3000. So below it, it says under film speed, it says for 3000 ASA, use a filter and 150. So you dial that to 150 if we're going to shoot black and white film in it. On the back of this camera, you'll see this is a standard This is a standard 100 style Polaroid film pack, and in the place it says filter inside, in the place it has where you would normally put the 3-volt battery for a Polaroid camera. Matter of fact, it even says use the 3-volt battery here, but it's just a compartment to hold this lens, or this filter. So we're going to close that. We're going to put this on. I'll show you how this filter works. Okay, there we go. You're going to take this out, and what you have is a half-silvered piece of filter. That's what it is. And what's cool about this is that it slides on in front of the lenses. Just like that. And there you have your black and white filter shooting at 150 ASA. And then of course that just slides out like so. And that's obviously one of Mast's mini patents that he's done. So we're going to go back here. We're going to open up this again and put it away. And then we're going to look inside. On the back, you have operating instructions. I'm sure if you pause the film, you can read this. Read the instructions on how to take pictures with it. But it says always rotate clockwise. And the Mast Development Company, 2212 East 12th Street, Davenport, Iowa. 117 volt AC, 60 hertz. And there's a patent number under it, so there you go. Of course, at the end of this, of course, on the top, there's your standard opening for your film. Now, again, this is your typical Polaroid bag. If I can open that up, that should just drop out, and you can see that it is your standard Polaroid bag, right down to the rollers you have to clean. Standard Polaroid. Okay. Now for the camera itself, you'll notice that you have the lenses, 2 lenses, and then 2 empty spots that are just blank. So when you put your film pack in here and close it up, close it up like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cock the lenses. And the way you cock the lenses on this camera is by spinning the film back. This is a Mast invention too, I believe. So to cock the lenses, we switch it once. Switch it once again. Now, when you come forward, now the lenses or the shutters are cocked, and now we can release the shutters with these buttons. To shoot just one picture on the left side, you press the top one. To release both, or the left one, press the bottom. Okay, so you've taken 2 pictures on one piece of film. Now, you spin it again to recock it. Spin it back, press the bottom one, and I just took the other 2 pictures on the bottom. Then, from there, you would just pull out the film and wait 60 seconds, and you've got your passport photos or student IDs or mug shots for prisons and jails, wherever this camera was used. Now, nowhere on this camera does it say that it was property of the U.S. government or that it's sensitive or secret or anything else. So I think I'm going to be able to sell this to some collector who would really appreciate the odd and different features this camera has. On the bottom of it, which is interesting, is this thing. This is a big, let's see, yeah, you can see it right there. This is of course, screws into a tripod mount. But what's interesting is this screw underneath. This screw under here actually is actually holding this piece in. So what you take is this. I've got a Allen wrench, goes through the hole, and it goes into the screw just like that. Okay? What I can do then is loosen this up. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight. And what that allows me to do is now that this thing can spin, and this camera can actually spin on the on this piece, because it's a giant piece of aluminum, machined aluminum. Underneath it, you can see inside here, that's the base for that's the base of the holder for the bulb for the aiming device. So you can leave it loose and pivot the camera, or you can tighten it up and make it not move at all like any other camera. Nice of them to put the hole in the side too to access that. So there you have a brief overview of what this camera is and what it does. Again, there's no research online. Research it online. There's nothing, not even a photograph of this camera anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera apart and replace the little lens that's inside it, or the light that's inside of it. So thanks for watching, and keep watching. There'll be more about this camera later on.